Right, guys, I think it's time to get these standard build orders in. You know, we've had it before with Aussie Drongo, a good old year or so ago now. People are calling for what is the latest standard build order that I should do for civilizations. And we're going to be kicking it off today with India, one of my main civilizations. So strap yourselves in. Without further ado, let's get into this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the battlefield. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and click that play button, and we're going to be running through the 1v1 standard BO on land maps, mainly for supremacy, and this is for India, of course. And I've just got to stress, I'm not really going to be collecting any treasures on the map, so it's not going to change my kind of age up times or anything like that. And also, I'm going to be showing you kind of the first 7 or 8 minutes of the build order. Lots of things can change depending on the map, depending on the civilization that you are facing. This is most of the time kind of build that you would do. So the first thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be collecting your crates. 5 villagers are going to be going straight to wood. 1 of those villagers building a house and then getting straight back onto wood. And then your remaining villager that you start off with is going to be getting in that herd and getting on the food. So basically all you need to worry about with India is just keep 5 vills on wood. Keep them on wood. Do not take them off wood for the entirety of age 1. The only time that you're going to need to take some of them off is to start building your agrofor. So please do not take these vills off only until you are nearly ready to put your agrofor down, which will be when you're near 800 food. So all you can see that I'm doing is pretty much just using my explorers here to start scouting the map. And of course, you want to keep those 2 explorers relatively close together, because if you do find treasures, you're going to want to tag team them and all that kind of stuff. But really, as I mentioned, guys, the easiest thing to do with India, I see a lot of people switching their wood all the time in age 1, and it just delays your age up. You do not want to delay your age up. So the easiest thing, keep 5 on wood, the rest on food, build 1 house. That's it. Simple as that. And that's all you're going to need to worry about. We've got the 2 explorers here going around, also scouting and trying to find any sort of hunts. Also, what I'd recommend is, now that with the recent change to the trade posts, just make sure that you've got the control. It does give you a little bit of vision, as you can see here. That can always be very helpful in the later part of the game. Something to bear in mind when you're moving your explorer around. But that's pretty much all we're going to be doing, is just continue doing this and maintain your herding. Try and keep your herd as close to the TC as possible. And then when we get up to around 650 food, something like that, we're going to be thinking about where we're going to be putting our aggro. Are we going to be doing it defensive? Are we going to be doing it offensive? That's the next thing. And of course, the first card we're going to be getting is the Distributivism, which is a wood trickle, one of the most crucial cards for India, and you're never going to go wrong with this. It's pretty much always going to be your first card, so a great one to go for as you're in age 1. Now, we're looking like we are in the position where we're going to need to be putting our aggro down. You can see we're just passing up to 700 food now, and immediately I'm sending 3 vills away from the TC, and on this map, I'm going to just decide to put my aggro in a slightly forward position, maintaining and grabbing these hunts, and also there's a gold mine up here for me as well. So this is all entirely map dependent and civ dependent as well, whether or not you put your aggro more into the middle of the map or whether you put it more in a defensive position. Must remember that. But this time we are putting it in offensive, and we're using 3 villagers to build it. Whilst those 3 villagers are building, all vills are going to be going over to wood. Now, the reason that you're going to be doing that is you will have a very small amount of downtime where you will not be able to create a villager just because of the lack of wood. So you always need to make sure the minute you're able to put your agrofor down, all vills go to wood, and 1 villager, or maybe 2 as well, as I've done here, can be used to start pulling in the 2 herds that you're going to need next. So always think about future herds, future hunts, what they're going to do, where they're going to go, and which ones you're going to go for. And pretty much the next thing you need to think about is getting a market down. So you can see here, if I just do a quick pause, you can see here, majority of the macro, nearly all vills on wood, 1 or 2 pulling the herds in. You can even put that 1 back onto wood if you really want to, if you're worried about your wood macro. And then we got 3 vills here on the aggro. Now, some people like to go 1 vill, some people like to go 2 vill on the aggro. If you go 1 vill on the aggro, it means you're going to have a slower age up. It's a little bit more greedy because you're going to have 2 extra villagers essentially going to be gathering resources for you. So it can be good if you want to get all of your market techs in as quickly as possible. You see here when I do this build, I'll show you, I do have a little bit of a macro issue, very slightly, and a little bit of a delay getting my market upgrades in. However, I do have an aggro fort down earlier. It's quicker. It's securing part of the map earlier as well. So it's all dependent on how you want to play. India is a very tricky one. It's not like a normal Euro Civ, where with the Euro Civs, age ups are relatively straightforward. You know, you either do a marketing transition, you do a TP. It's very straightforward. But with India, it's a bit different because of the whole macro element of the whole wood for villagers and all that kind of stuff. So you can see here, I've put a market down. Pretty much want to maintain a lot of vills on wood. And you can see here, I've just taken off a couple to start going on to gold. Now, that's really crucial because you're going to want to start sepoy production the minute you get into your first age, into your second age, sorry. You're going to be wanting to start creating a batch of sepoys from your aggro fort. So you can see immediately I've got a sepoy in production. They do cost 90 food and 30 coin. And this is where your brain's going to start to melt a little, okay? You're going to start to have it be a bit frazzled. What do I do? Do I try and get a full batch of sepoys? Do I try and get my full market techs in? So this is the kind of, you could say, downside with going for 3 vills on the aggro fort. It means that you don't have those extra vills to be used getting the resources and making sure that you can get everything in on time. So it's however you want to prioritize it. You know, I'm not amazing at my build orders. I'm not an amazing player at the game. So sometimes you are not going to be able to get a full batch of sepoys out. And this is definitely going to be one of those cases. The next card that I'm getting in is the 700 wood. So that's a crucial card that we're going for. 700 wood, very, very standard option to go for. You can see my first market tech is hunting eagles. That is coming in. And the sepoys are coming in. And I've only managed to get 2 of them there. I definitely could have got a third one. Unfortunately, I only managed to get 2 there, but instead I did get the market tech instead, and I'm getting my next market tech, which is the civil servants. So basically what you want to do with the market, you want to go hunting eagles, then you want to go civil servants, and then you want to go blanket filters. Now basically the eagles is the food. The civil servants is sort of the multi. It does an increase for all resources. And then the final is the blanket filters, which is for your gold. So that's what you want to focus on. You want to really focus on those 3 market techs. And now the 700 wood has come in. Now, when the 700 wood comes in, you want to move all vills off wood. You don't need them on wood for a while because you're going to have an influx of wood. And the minute that 700 wood is gathered, you want to put down a consulate and you want to put down another house. And then you want to focus all of your villagers on food and gold because you're going to be really, really sort of invested in creating sepoys. So you really want to make sure that you have all your vills on food and gold. Make sure that you try and really get that full batch of sepoys out. You can see I've got another batch in play here. I think I managed to get, I think I've only managed to get the 4 out here. But I don't know. I think I did. No, there you go. Beautiful. So I got a 5 batch out there. Fantastic. And I've managed to get all of my first 3 market techs in. And the consulate is going down now as well. And the house. That's exactly what I mentioned. And you can see all vills are now off wood. And we're on food and coin at the moment. And we're just going to be maintaining sepoy production. Next card is going to be the diplomatic intrigue, which is going to go perfectly with your consulate. So please, guys, always make sure that, you know, you wait for the diplomatic intrigue to be done before you go for your consulate. Now, the reason that is, you can see here, you receive 300, and also the export cost for switching to an ally or selecting an ally, you must wait for diplomatic intrigue to be done. So that's going to go up there, and you can see we've pretty much just got vills on food and gold at the moment. Something that happened to me here, which you're going to see, which I really stress to you guys is just to keep your eye on, is the amount of food that you rack up. Because trust me, you've got so many vills, they're coming out very, very quickly now. India's a great eco civ, and this is kind of what happens. So just be really careful of how many vills you have on food, and always ask yourself, do I need that many on food? You know, the only thing that I'm really getting food-wise are sepoys at the moment. So just always keep an eye on that. And you can see now that the sepoys are coming in. And I do make a little bit of a boo-boo here as well. I do go for my Ottoman allies before I get diplomatic intrigue. So that is a big no-no. I should have waited for diplomatic intrigue to come in and then select the Ottomans there. So not the best. I've got to say, guys, I am a little bit rusty. I haven't been on the game for a while. I've been away for a week, so just bear that in mind. But we do got a good bunch of sepoys here, coming up to 7 minutes 30. So, and we got a relatively decent amount here. And now we're going for the next layer of market techs. So you can see here, the next one now is professional hunters. That's one for your food. And we can also go for the gold upgrade and also the imperial bureaucracy, which is the larger upgrade for all of your resources again. So, you know, this is a real good eco-focused sort of opening here for India. There are many ways you can do it. You can completely skip the market techs and wait until you get 700 wood. So in transition, you basically gather food and gold only, and you make sure that you get a batch out of sepoys early and maintain pressure early on. But this is a very sort of all-round sort of standard opening, you could say, for India. And you can see here with the Ottomans, I'm getting 4 settlers. You could go for 3 hussars if you want to be pressurizing more. If you need to defend, you can get the 3 hussar card. There's many different routes with India. Trust me, it's a very, very diverse civ. You can see here that I'm just pressurizing the opponent. And that is pretty much it, guys. We're going to wrap it up right there. We're 8 minutes in, and that's where I want to kind of leave it. And I just want to touch upon a few other variations very, very briefly. As I said, you can be defensive, you can be offensive. Here we were quite offensive. We didn't really do a rush. Now you can do a rush. You can go different with the deck choice. I went for 700 wood. Then I went for 5 then I went for diplomatic intrigue. And then my next card is going to be 5 sepoys. However, you could go 700 wood, 5 sepoy, 4 soa, and then you could go for diplomatic intrigue later on. There's so many different things that you can do. But what I would always suggest is going distributivism and then 700 wood first. And then from that, make your decision. Do I want to go straight into units? Do I want to get my diplomatic intrigue from the Ottomans first? There's many things. Or do I want to go 700 coin and maybe go for like a semi-FF? There's tons of different things. Or do I want to go super, super greedy and go 700 wood straight into foreign logging, which is the second wood trickle. Now that is super greedy, but people do it. So there we go, guys. That is pretty much going to wrap it up in a nutshell for you. So ladies and gents, I hope you really enjoyed the first sort of standard build order there for India. And of course, you know, India may get an overhaul. There may be a change. And if there is, I'll be posting a brand new standard BO for it. Let me know down, of course, down below in the comments. A lot of you guys are probably going to say, this isn't standard. This is not what I do. Of course, standard is a kind of a tricky word, isn't it? I would say standard is sort of the most common or a common build order for the civilization. But the main reason that I'm doing this is to help people that want to try the civilization out and want to get an idea of what the opening involves and what things you need to consider. So if you found this useful, interesting, informative, all that sort of stuff, please do drop a like. And of course, I will catch you in the next video or the next stream. Catch you later, guys. Bye.